This just defined everything for the Milwaukee Brewers as they are headed to the postseason. And what we just saw in tonight's game, a walk-off win, has shocked everybody. We're going to be breaking it down, going over how this game really came to be, as well as why this defines everything going forward for this Brewers team, who tonight have officially clinched a postseason spot. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to cover in today's video, as well as heading into tomorrow with some more updates regarding the offseason. But we got to get in this video, and before we do jump into it, be sure to hit the sub button if you haven't already. We're 150 subscribers away from 1,000. If you guys could do me one big favor, that is hit the sub button if you haven't already, and you're looking for all your Milwaukee Brewers news, I'm doing you a favor, so you can do me one as well. But like I said, thank you guys all for the support as of late, but we need to get straight into this, because obviously a major, I don't even know how the words to describe it. A crazy win by the Brewers tonight after being down by 4 runs in the 8th inning, coming back to win it in the 10th. And I mean, pulling up the team comparison, as you can see here, a pretty even game apart from really 2 things. And the first off is the Cardinals. They were hitting the ball well tonight, and I think this is a game that goes to show how good this Brewers team really is when you're going up against some teams that are also playing well, and also the errors. Not the most, pretty game tonight for the Brewers, but it is definitely a major one, and regardless of what comes out of it with the errors inside of things, the main thing is you come out with the win, and that's what the Brewers did today, with 2 home runs coming from the Cardinals as well. Apart from that, a pretty even game. 12 to 11 hits on the night, and also 9 to 8 for this Brewers team. And like I said, in the 10th inning, after an at-bat from Andruw Monastario that we're going to have to jump into here in a moment. But Kurt Hogg tweeted this out as well, kind of really putting the cherry on the top of tonight's game, saying, "What a ball game, trailing by 4 entering the 8th and 3 entering the 9th. The Brewers rally to walk it off with Andruw Monastario's 10-pitch single at clinching night ends in grand fashion." And there's no other way the Brewers would have done it tonight apart from the exact way that it happened. But as you saw there, Andruw Monastario coming into this game and absolutely going off on that last at-bat in his first at-bat of the game. But I mean, you see right now, St. Louis playing pretty well throughout the game, starting off hot as well, but the Brewers storm back in the 8th, 9th, and 10th to walk it off. And I'll just show you what MLB.com had on their side of things regarding Andruw Monastario's at-bat. You take a look at this. You see pitch 1 through 10, with 10 being the walk-off single. This is an at-bat of a team that knows what they're doing. A player that is coming in clutch day in and day out. These are the at-bats that win you games. These are the at-bats that win you any type of situation throughout a season like this. But this just tops off to me as well and really emphasizes what this Brewers team is all about. You see a guy like Andruw Monastario, who don't play every day. He comes into this game after being pinch hitting as well, and coming into this game, first at-bat of the day, a 10-pitch at-bat to walk it off in the 10th inning. That's how much Pat Murphy has confidence in this team to be able to make these types of moves in extra innings, to go out and trust the players that you're putting in to end up doing this. Not just, on defense, not just whatever, but when you're coming into a game cold in the 10th inning of a game that is clinching you in the postseason, and honestly a game that you really need to win, these are the types of at-bats that really emphasize this Brewers team. So just seeing this and watching it live, the energy was there through this team, through the crowd, through the fans, even through the TV. You could feel the energy that Andruw Monastario and the rest of this team brought here, starting in the 8th inning on that comeback. And that's why this team is special. That's why this team is going to have the success they are. But going into this game as well, it's obviously not just Andruw Monastario. And as you see on the bottom there, pinch hitting for Rhys Hoskins there in the later half of this game. Joey Ortiz there as well. But going down this list, you see quite a few players once again getting back to their kind of hot streaks. Once again, a few players getting 3 hits, 2 hits, whatever. Or not 3 hits, 2 hits and 3 at-bats, 2 hits and 4 at-bats coming down the list. And you're seeing these guys be able to just absolutely put the wheels on when you need to later in the game. And as long as, you can get it started as well, that's the main thing. But this Brewers team, once again, going down the roster, going down the order today, you see just the kind of the clutch that these players comes in. Christian Yelich, a bit of a cold streak as of late, but that is totally fine. Isaac Collins as well. But going down the rest of the list, I mean, you take a look at whoever comes into these games, you can trust them. I think that's really how this team is materializing to become the star team they are, with Pat Murphy at the helm, because he trusts everybody, because he knows that nobody has an ego on this team. That's how this team is really managing to get to where they are, and I think that's how they're going to continue on the rest of the month as well. But going into the pitching tonight, it wasn't the greatest game for Miz. Obviously, not bad. 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 Ks, but could be a lot better. Could be a lot worse as well, which is why I'm saying it's not bad. But this causes a few questions to be asked now, whether or not you would want to see Jacob Misiorowski in the bullpen come the postseason. Now, this is kind of a tough question to ask once we saw how he did last game, how good he was last game. But going into the postseason, when you're at games like this, you're in a 7-game series. You know that you really can't afford to go out here and make a game have a loss or be a loss when you're going up here and not really knowing if the offense will come back from this. But they did in this game, which is obviously a good part. But when you have a bullpen the way it is, and once it's healthy once again, having Jacob Misiorowski in here with the rotation that we do, which we have an update on as well here in a few minutes, going into a season like this where you're having Jacob Misiorowski pitch as well as he did, now well above his inning limit, and really getting to a question on his arm. Would you want to put him in the bullpen? I want to ask you guys that as well, disregarding completely how he did last game where he went, 7 innings and just a very, very good game from him. I can't remember the exact stat line, but it was the longest outing and most pitches for him of his career. But going throughout the pitching staff here in this game as well, apart from Grant Anderson, pretty good on the rotation, or the pitching rotation as well, and down the pitching line. Once again, Andruw Monastario closing this game out, been absolutely stellar this season. A 1.82 ERA, that is continuing to drop day in and day out, but you're seeing a little bit of a different game here as well today. You're not seeing pitchers go more, about the 1 inning that they do. Had a bit of a kind of mishaps here, once again, as I mentioned, the Anderson 2 runs, not the greatest, so take him out and ultimately go down the line, but it still worked out at the end here, and going down to as well with Myers, I'm not considering that anything, crazy, because that is with the ghost runner on, or the runner that goes on second and extras, so not even going to be on his fault there. But going down to this game, obviously the pitching held us in it, and the hitters came in here clutch at the end of the game. But going in to the rest of the month, I have an update regarding the schedule. Also coming in on the pitching staff, we had a change of that starting today, but with this win here against the Cardinals, this is obviously the second win back-to-back, going into a sweep possibility tomorrow. It's going to be an important game, once again, before you get down to the Angels and then the Cardinals again, before going on against a very tough series against the Padres. So going into the rest of the month, I think that this is a very good sign going forward here, starting out with, I would call it the second half of this month, the later half of this month, and continuing on until, I would say, the last game of the first half before we get into the second. It's going to be a very good way to end it off, and a very good kind of tone to set forward going into, still a few challenging series here. But with the pitching staff, Todd Rosiak tweeted this out here on September 12th, which of course is, yesterday at this point, but 2 days ago, depending on when you're watching this. The Brewers have reshuffled the rotation, so of course Misiorowski started today, Sunday Jose Quintana tomorrow, Tuesday, with the day off on Monday, you have Freddy Peralta, Brandon Woodruff, and Quinn Priester. And I do think that they wanted to start the rotation off on that second half by giving everybody an extra day, because I believe Brandon Woodruff was supposed to start today. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's either today or tomorrow he was supposed to start. But this is a very interesting thing to kind of look forward to as they reshuffle it going into the rest of the month, where you're getting the top of your rotation here against the Angels, then going into, the 2 bottom pieces, which of course is still fantastic, Misiorowski going into, and Jose Quintana. But then you still back to the Cardinals, lining the start of the rotation up once again for the Padres. So I think this is just a way to be able to do it here with no days off to make it easier for this Brewers team. But ultimately, I don't think this matters at all. I really think whoever you put in against any game, they will have that success. But this is just another very positive update regarding this. So let me know what you think about this game, as well as the rotation shift here. And of course, the big thing, Jacob Misiorowski. What do you think the plan should be with him heading towards the postseason? Let me know in the comments below. But if you haven't already, and you're at this point in the video, be sure to hit the sub button. You're obviously looking for your Brewers news. I'm going to have it here for you guys. But we have a lot of stuff coming. You won't want to miss it. That's all I got here on this one. If you did enjoy, give it a like. Hit the sub button as well. I'm signing out, though. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.